Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostep and this is going to be part 14 of my early campaign where I'm playing as the Byzantines. And if you did watch the last episode, then you know that this is the part of the campaign where it's going to be about building up and working on my economy, building up my trade empire, while at the same time working on my military infrastructure to the extent that I can. You know, when I keep looking at the Byzantine tech tree, essentially, for their soldiers and their military, although they do start out very strong, I do think they definitely get stronger up to a point. You know, they definitely do tail off towards the late game, but it's not like, you know, everything is just in the, the best it is at the very beginning. You know, the fact that they can get some, the Byzantine cavalry and the cataphracts and the Varangian Guard and even the Pronoi Legion, you know, these are all very solid units that I think I'm looking forward to, being able to use. So, yeah, I have some stuff to look forward to regarding that. And with that in mind, I do need to sort of kind of turn my attention to more of how I want to actually plan my provinces out to develop certain troops. Obviously, Bulgaria is going to be working towards the Bulgarian Brigands, and this is a surprisingly high-teched up unit. It is going to require a citadel to be able to train them, because it does require that level of boyar. Yeah, in fact, I haven't even built a basic boyar yet. But yeah, Bulgaria is going to require the citadel, and then all 4 tiers of boyar before I can train the Bulgarian Brigands. And that's going to be a unit of archers that's in some ways similar to the Trebizond archers. You know, their ranged attack is always going to be the same. That's the case for all of the archers in this game that fire that bow. The only archer that fires that type of bow is like the longbow, but of course that's a different type of bow. And they have an armor-piercing attack. But every other just basic bowman, you know, that whether it's a desert archer or a Trebizond archer or a Bulgarian archer or a Bulgarian brigand or a Genoese sailor, which of course can only be trained here in Genoa. These are all going to have basically varying stats of melee capabilities and morale, and some of them carry a shield and some of them are faster. So these are kind of the things you're looking for, and I think it can be fun to kind of build around that, even though the common mindset is that the basic bow does get out-teched as you go along, because you do want to have the power of the crossbow and the arbalester, and even the guns as well to get through the armor that's going to be prevalent in the mid to late game. And I do understand that, but at the same time, I think that there is always going to be value in having that standard bow, because it does have a very steady rate of fire. It's also very flexible in that it can shoot over small hills. You know, it has an arc of fire that allows it to shoot over the heads of the men that you have in front of them. So there's a lot that you can do with just basic archers that you can't do with a crossbow or a gun or an arbalester. So I'm kind of moving in that direction of having... I still think that getting some crossbows and arbalesters is going to be pretty important, but combining that with these basic bowmen that also happen to basically be all-rounders, right? They can fight in melee as well as, shoot their bows. And even though they shouldn't be fighting in melee as their primary role, I think, getting a bit of upgrades on them and then throwing them into the melee, build up some really nice armors and get them some really nice cathedrals so that they have good morale as well. And then you can have some bowmen that can probably provide a pretty solid punch in battle. Also, being led by a good general can help as well. So that's going to be the plan here with Bulgaria. Croatia is Serbia is kind of like my, so far it's been kind of going with us. Trebizond archers and Slav warriors, but I'm not sure what direction I want to go with them. Maybe be able to train spearmen there would be nice as well. Greece and Constantinople should be doing Varangian guards. I'm one turn away from being able to finish this galley here in Constantinople, and then I can start training the Varangian guards right away, which is going to be useful. And Greece is working in that direction, but I am, like, any chance I get, I am building that merchant building just for an extra boost to my economy. So I'm not quite there yet with that. Nicaea is going to be working towards the Pronoia Legion. In the meantime, I am training some Byzantine Lancers. Anatolia is working on siege equipment. Lesser Armenia is working on agents. I think Georgia would be a good spot to also train up some Varangian Guard at some point. And Syria is going to be getting assassins at some point because of the +1 valor bonus to assassins here. And that leaves me at a point where I'm realizing that I need more provinces training more soldiers because I'm kind of running out of areas that specialize in certain things. Constantinople does give a +1 valor bonus to the cataphracts that are trained here, and that's not something that I'm ready for yet. I don't feel like I need to rush cataphracts, really. I do want to be able to train them so that I can retrain my generals' units, my family members' units. So I do want to do that, but I do think that getting the Varangian Guard is more of a priority here in Constantinople. But I think once I'm done building this chancellery, which is going to give a title to something, once I'm done with that, I suppose I can start working towards the cataphracts. First, by building up to the required armor. So I think I need 2 more armor buildings, and then I need to start building my horse farmer chain, because I haven't even built the first tier horse farmer yet. And that's it. That's all I need. I have the tier that I need. I'm up to a citadel, which is the level that you need for cataphracts. So I'm not that far away from cataphracts here in Constantinople, which leads me to think, okay, well, where am I going to train Byzantine infantry? I haven't even, done that yet. And I think that probably needs to happen probably in Serbia. Would be a place that I could tech up to that. I already have the castle, which is, more than enough to train Byzantine infantry there. So that would be a good spot for that, I think. And then also, so that leads me to the question, if I'm training Pronoia Legion here in Nicaea, then I need places that can train the Byzantine Lancers. And also, I haven't even considered really, like just crossbows, like basic crossbows and arbalesters, and also my Byzantine cavalry, which is basically it's like a medium cav, but it's also a horse archer. It does kind of fill both roles, which sounds very useful. I'm looking forward to using them. And I'm thinking I need to get Sinai and Palestine in the game here because they've been kind of in the sidelines. I haven't really known what to do with these provinces. Like I am training boats here in Palestine, and I did, get the royal palace so that I can get emissaries here in Sinai. But now I'm thinking, okay, let's do this. Now let's do this the right way where I can get some more soldiers going here. And what I'm thinking is using one of them for bows, and more specifically crossbows and arbalesters, and then the other one, and so with that bow province, that can also tech up eventually to having Byzantine cavalry, because they require the bow buildings. And then the other province can, what was I thinking? Was I thinking Byzantine infantry as well? Or Byzantine Lancers, perhaps? Yeah, maybe Byzantine Lancers and Spearmen would be a good idea. Yeah, I can't exactly remember, but I think that's what I was thinking, maybe. But in any case, I need to get Sinai and Palestine into the game here. And, yeah, let's just start. I don't even have a basic town watch in either province. So let's just get that going first. Yeah, let's do that. And my main money-making provinces, pretty much every province that does have trade resources, is just going full on with the trade buildings. Like I'm taking right up to, I think a citadel has the last tier of trade building, I believe. And I've just been doing that in Egypt, Tripoli, Antioch, even my inland trade provinces like Edessa and Armenia and even Syria as well. I mean, I'm making almost 700 off Edessa. Let's see, 500. I can push that up to 521 and 438. And I think these are just the tier 2 merchant buildings. So I can probably boost these up over 1,000 florins each. And then in the long run, you know, that'll even out. That'll pay for itself in the long run. So yeah, why not? Why not do that? So yeah, that's going to be the play there. You know, as I mentioned before, I'm still going to be working on getting my fleets going. I have to take it slowly. I have to make sure that I'm not giving the Italians a reason to start a naval war with me. So I'm being very cautious about making sure that I outnumber them in every sea region that we share together. And I'm coming up to the point where I am sharing the water with French boats now. And that's a little bit risky. I think I did win a naval battle there. I have a 2-star admiral here. And yeah, I can't enter the Bay of Biscay until we know that we can take on these guys. You know, dromons and galleys, not quite gonna cut it. Unless I'm really outnumbering those barks. Those barks are tough boats, and they do have a 1-star admiral there, so yeah, and they have another boat up here. So it's tough. As long as this French Crusade stays on my borders, you know, it's going to be tough getting trade going up through this northern region, but I feel like it can be worth it in the long run, because, well, I guess there's not a lot of ports in the Baltic. There is 2 ports in the Baltic, and then 2 ports in Skagerrak, and then 1 port in the Norwegian Sea. So there are a handful of ports that I can trade with. Also, Friesland's probably, you know, German, I'm assuming. But that's the other thing, though, is that I will be getting a ceasefire with the French eventually again. Like, they have 1,000 men left in this crusade. So it's going to die out eventually. The Germans, though, yeah, too bad. I'm going to be at war with them forever, I guess. Because, yeah, with 2,000 men left in this crusade, this is going to be here for a long time, and I'm just going to have to wait until they have enough of their own problems so that they want to get a ceasefire with me, because they need to handle their own shit. And, I really need some more spies. I'm getting my priests going here so I can see what's going on, and I'm just at the point where I can start getting to the German provinces, and I really want to see their situation. Because right now, the Germans and the French are not at war with each other, and no one's at war with the Italians anymore. So yeah, it's just me. I'm just the one that's kind of facing the wrath of a lot of these places. It is important to remind myself and y'all that these are super long campaigns. Really, really long campaigns, you know? They go on for a very long time. This is just the beginning, you know? This is episode 14, and this is just the beginning. So it is important to not, like, you know, overreact to this stuff. As long as my income is good and I'm making money, and as long as I'm working on building up stuff, I'm going to be fine, you know? Like, my points are still good as well. I'm still making a heap full of points. At some point, that's going to dry up, and by then, I need things to be good, you know? Like, I need at least a couple 100,000 florins in the bank, if not, like, close to 500,000 would be nice. That's an extra realistic goal to reach for. That way, when I need to perhaps go to war with someone on the other side of the map, I'm looking at you, France. If I need to use my fleets to invade their territories and really, you know, mess them up, and maybe going after some provinces that have the chapter house. In fact, I didn't even think to look at that. Ooh. I didn't think to look at that. Which province has the chapter house? Okay, there's one here in Anjou. I don't know if that's the one, but I do have eyes on one chapter house. And anything up here? Nope, and no. Anjou. So they do have boats guarding their borders. Oh, that's very tempting. It's very, very tempting. To send armies to Anjou and just get rid of... Oh, this is like all peasants here in Flanders. Oh, man. Okay. This is something that needs to be considered. is using a naval invasion to take out that chapter house, and that's going to make that crusade automatically fail. If this is the chapter house that spawned that crusade. If not, I'm just kind of wasting my time. Oh man, that's so tempting. That's so tempting. I feel like I feel like I need to remind myself of what I was literally just telling myself, which is that now's not the time. It's not. It really isn't. Like, I'm making it's a good income, you know. 9.5 is a good income. It is. You know, I need to work on Georgia. I need to work on my military, the stuff that I was literally just talking about. I need to do these things. The thing that I can do, this is the army. Yep, speaking of which, this is the army that just got ransomed back from Sicily. But what I can do is mess them up. I can go back here and finish this job. I got rid of a lot of their royal knights in that last battle. More than I thought. So let's do that. Let's get rid of the Sicilians, and that will at least be the step in the right direction. I can, like, it's totally fine with me if there's a reemergence of the faction. A lot of times when there's a reemergence on an island, they just can't afford to move anywhere anyway. Sure, they could use a land invasion into Naples, but we'll, you know, cross that bridge when we get there. So I would just like a reemergence of a faction that I could trade with here. That would be really nice. And a faction that I'm not at war with, that would be really nice. And it would reset their points too, which, you know, not that I'm worried about their points right now, but I think that's going to be the play. I think I'm just going to do that right now too. I could use this poor guy. He's, yeah, disloyal. He's a 3-star general and he's a good runner. -3 morale. Captivating nature gets rid of some of that by giving +2 morale. And then having the 3 stars ends up, you know, being an okay, you know, plus as a leader. The fact that he's 1 loyalty is kind of scary. I have to say, I don't know if only 1 loyalty is enough to cause issues. And please, like, let me know if I'm wrong about this, but like, don't you need a few generals that have low loyalty? Isn't that the thing that you need? You know, because I'm looking around and I'm like, I don't. Okay, never mind. This guy has low loyalty as well. Is this my mercenary? Holy shit. Yeah, my mercenary general. He's a man of principle, of sure, but he has 0 loyalty. That's not like standard with mercenaries, is it? That's not like a, huh? I don't know. Do mercenaries, would they cause a civil war? They wouldn't. That wouldn't make any sense, right? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. But I'm thinking about sending Prince Nicephorus right back to Sicily to kind of finish his job and maybe redeem himself. He's the only man left in his unit, so his unit would be combat ineffective. And after that last battle, I had surmised that if I had switched my ratio of archers and javelins, I probably maybe would have stood a better chance. And if I had switched out my swordsmen for more spears, that would have also given me a better chance. So, however, with that being said, I'm probably just going to bring the exact same army composition back in here because now most of the Royal Knights are dead. So now I can just bring archers, or a lot of archers. Still, you know, 2 javelins to get rid of the last couple Royal Knights. But then, yeah, archers, Byzantine lancers, Byzantine infantry, spearmen, and yes, a naphtha thrower. Because I have to. Let's just do it. Let's go right back to Sicily and finish what I started there. How about a round 2 here in Sicily? I think I got this one, so let's go. We are now back in Sicily and the weather's perfect. I wanted to make sure that if I can get my naphtha throwers into action, that they would be able to throw their grenades and that any rain would not be interfering with them as well. We start the battle off right at the bottom of this gigantic hill right in front of us, so the first order of business is to be getting my guys into formation right away to make sure that the enemy cannot just charge me and disrupt everything before, you know, I'm set and ready to go. And then pretty soon here I will be sending my Byzantine Lancers off over the hill so that we can try to get eyes on the enemy and to make sure that I will be heading in the right direction here. I am able to get a glimpse of them just on the other side of this hill, and it's again just like the last battle. They're not taking the ridge, which is an interesting tactical decision to sit at the bottom of the hill and to wait for me. But I will take it. This is a golden opportunity, so let's reach that ridge. There is one adjustment that I'm attempting to make with this composition. I'm trying something that I did practice in a few custom battles to see how it would work, and that is by essentially just having instead of the two spearmen on both flanks and then the two swords in the middle backed up by javelins, I would have one spearman in the middle backed up by two javelins, and then essentially a reserve force of Byzantine infantry and naphtha throwers moving together. I don't know why they're moving separately right now. I'm not sure what's going on there. But in any case, that was the idea, was to have a reserve force of swordsmen and grenades to kind of plug the hole wherever I need them to be. And because I have a lot of skirmishers overlapping here in the middle, there can essentially, theoretically, be a lot of room for grenades to be used. I, in some ways, can even have my naphtha throwers be tucked into the Slav javelin men. As long as they are in hold position and hold formation, they can just kind of engage the enemy. Obviously not totally ideal, but they can keep the enemy off of the naphtha throwers while they can still throw their grenades kind of from within that formation, which is an interesting little tactic. We will see if I'm able to make use of that in this battle here. The downside, of course, of having only one unit of swordsmen is that this unit of militia sergeants I very much underestimated. I mean, in a way, I know this is a beefy unit for this stage in this campaign, and this is where my swords should be, because what else is going to handle this unit of militia sergeants? These spearmen? I don't think so. These archers? Not with their arrows. So I'm thinking, okay, let's get these guys off to the flank and charge these militia sergeants into the rear. Well, I have some lancers hidden on this hill as well, and these spearmen come to intercept my archers. And you know what? Archers can do okay in a melee, so let's bring some lancers in to support this fight against the spearmen. Now, these militia sergeants will butcher my spearmen though, and we have peasants on the way as well. Then they have peasants clashing against my spearmen. That should be a victory for me, but then they have their royal knights clashing up as well. And then I'm bringing my javelin men down and my spearmen to collapse on the flanks of these urban militia and these peasants. And then my entire left flank's not being used, so let's bring them closer as well. Javelins can be tossed into the royal knights, and my naphtha throwers and swords are coming up as well. I have some lancers hidden around that side of that hill as well. As expected, these militia sergeants butchered my spearmen, just crushed them. And now I'm starting to worry here because I have my lancers and my archers fighting infantrymen. Not great infantrymen, but spearmen and peasants. So there's that. On this side now, I'm sending my troops and archers in to try to stop these militia sergeants from rampaging across my lines. I have spearmen running away, more spearmen running away. Their spearmen are holding, these peasants are holding, and my swordsmen come in just in time to kill the Sicilian king, which is perfect for me. Maybe my javelins helped as well. In fact, 2 units of javelins, I'm sure they did a lot of damage. Spears running down the hill can also get a lot of work done. And then I remember my Byzantine lancers hidden on that side of the hill, and they can start charging down these archers that probably were retreating way too early into the battle, because how did they get this far away? They probably would have been a bit more useful if they were closer to the battle lines. But now they will be paying for their laziness or their cowardice. My lancers will be cleaning these units up because this is what they are made for. It's hunting down light infantry. Well, my surviving lancers on this side, they did okay considering that they were fighting spearmen. They only did lose 8 men. And now my swords are going to come down and help clean up the rest of these urban militia. On this side, And peasants on this side, archers on this side. And this is looking okay, but we still do have to deal with these malicious archers. No, they were taken care of, yes. They will be running away now, and they'll be chased off by my light infantry, my javelins as well, which is going to feel pretty good. I didn't really get my general's hands dirty too much. Wait, what's this? A lone royal knight charging into the rear of my spearmen. Man, this guy did not hear no bell, and he just killed like 4 spearmen in one charge. Jesus. So eventually I will decide to not shoot into my infantry with my archers, and I will send these guys into melee to help fight this lone horseman. And at this point, you remember what I just said about my general not getting his hands dirty? Well, it's time. Go on there, bud. You got this. You got like 6 valor. You can take on this one royal knight. And there he has fallen. And I don't know if that was one of the last family members of the Sicilians. I think that they had someone else besides their king, but I just had to make sure, just to be sure. Because if the Sicilian family is killed in this battle, then I don't have to worry too much about actually assaulting that castle, do I? All I need to do is make sure the Sicilians are gone, and then my mission is accomplished. That one worked out just a little bit better, didn't it? I mean, at least I did win. I still wasn't that super easy. I did kind of lose my right flank there, but at least I was able to pull through and pull off a victory. So, yeah, Sicily is now kind of mine. I believe that I still will have to take the castle. Hopefully, I don't have to assault the castle, because that probably is going to be a pretty deadly affair. So yeah, Sicily's mine. Ransom refused. That's to be expected. And yeah, they're done for. Yeah, I don't have to take the castle because they're done for. Yeah, that's fine. Because I don't want Sicily. That's totally fine. And yes, now Prince Nicephorus is now a 4th rank general. So, oh, good for him. Looks like we're catching German assassins here in Serbia. And my assassin was caught. He was crossing the border here. I had sent him out to kill that Hungarian emissary. That's too bad, because I think that was a 4th Valor, or Valor 4 assassin. Castle's finished here in SCS. Now I can start working on the buildings that I need to get for those Pronomai Legion. And yes, Odessa's castle's finished. Now I can start building the 3rd tier merchant buildings in these provinces. And the healing visionary, so Hildegard, the prioress of Bingen, has achieved acclaim for her worthy powers of healing and her scholarship in the medical field. She has also published 2 books and is known as a visionary who has been encouraged and praised by archbishops and even the Pope. After she wrote of her visions, her presence bolsters the Catholic Church in Germany and grants +1 health in Germany. I have no idea what that means. +1 health in Germany? Is that like just +1 health for every captain and every general in Germany? No idea. That is very vague. Emperor Michael VIII is now a great builder, so +1 loyalty and +10 happiness in all provinces. Okay, so that means Prince Nicephorus is up to a loyalty of 2, so that's a good sign. That's good. That's good. And let's see. Lord Caliphates is same thing. And secret bad temper on this lord, this governor. +1 dread. So, yeah, he cannot control his temper. More than once, a minor argument has ended with a red mist descending and his opponent lying on the floor in a pool of blood. So far, such incidents have been hushed up. So, yeah, it's so far it's just a positive one. But I'm assuming once that becomes known, I'm assuming that becomes not so positive anymore. All right, that should be good. All right, so now that Sicily is, like, how long is this going to take? Yeah, I would have to, you know, assault this, and I have no intention of doing that. So let's just leave. The Sicilians are now gone. I'm no longer at war with them. That feels good. And yeah, let's just go back home. Let's just chill out. Now, see, okay, so he's up to 3 loyalty now. Oh. How did that happen? That's interesting. Okay, so I wasn't really paying attention to this, but in the Vices and Virtues page that I was just looking at, it was saying that the Emperor, of course, has that good builder trait. Or a great builder trait, which gives +1 loyalty to all generals. But then I saw someone else also have the same trait, which is always weird seeing it in someone that isn't a governor. You know, like it doesn't make sense that they would be a good builder if they're not building anything. But it also said +1 loyalty. But I don't think that would be for all generals if he's not the Emperor. That doesn't make any sense, right? So I don't know if that's what this is. Yeah, where did he get that? That's so bizarre. Hey, that's good news. That's good news, though. Let me double check this. Yeah, it's nothing. His traits have not changed. He's just happier now that he won. Huh. Is influence? What about that? Does that go up by? That might have gone up by 1. That must be what it is. I think we had 6 before. Now we have 7. So once I lose Sicily, I might lose another pip of loyalty for Prince Nicephorus. Ah, well, that's fine. We'll be fine. Everything's fine. 2 pips of loyalty should be fine. If it's not, we can just bring him back to his dad. We will get a warning, like, right? It will say, like, hey, you have to deal with this. You have low loyalty on your generals. I don't want to kill him because the thing is, my emperor is not sired any children yet, so that leaves just his brothers, and they're all pretty close in age to the emperor himself, and he's getting up there. He's 37, I believe. Yes, and so like his brothers are just a little bit younger than him, all of them. Prince Nicephorus being the youngest one, so I don't want him to die. I don't want to have to, you know, assassinate him or kill him or anything. Might need this guy. Hopefully he's having children in the background. And speaking of which, yeah, still no one is going to marry me, so hopefully they're taking care of business behind the scenes so that, you know, we can continue our dynasty. This is a good sign. This is a good step, a first step, hopefully, you know, of things to come. Killing a French fleet, that feels pretty good. So 1 is down. I think there's still a few more French boats in the water, though. The Hungarians are pretty happy, so good for them. Looks like the Polish, they have a little succession here. And yeah, now my town watch has been finished here in Sinai and Palestine, so now I can start working on my basic soldiers that I can train up there. Merchants Guild is finished here in Greece, so now I can start teching up to Varangian guards there as well. And the castle's finished in Egypt, so now I can get my 3rd tier merchant building. And the Word of God, so although the North is Christian, at times it seems like the old religions are still lurking in the darker forests. Eric's efforts on behalf of the church have been prodigious, and the Catholic Church is bolstered throughout Scandinavia by his achievements. So, good for them. And let's see, anything here? So this governor's -2 valor, doesn't really matter for me. This governor is giving +10 happiness and +1 loyalty, so that's good. Yeah, like what does it mean for a governor to be given +1 loyalty? That's what I want to know. Is it just his own loyalty, right? Like that's it? That would be my guess. You know. But yes, all right. Anyway, I think now. So what do I want to build where? Does it matter? Sinai already has a horse breeders guild. And does Palestine have anything here? They just have a regular horse farmer. Okay, so if I have Sinai go for the archer route, they can be closer to getting the Byzantine cavalry would be my guess. So let's get them a basic boyar. And then Palestine can go Yeah, I'm thinking spearman and then swordsmith, so that they can get the Byzantine infantry. And then also the Byzantine cavalry as well, I believe. Yeah. In any case, yeah. Egypt, yeah, you go for the Merchants Guild. Just keep making me some money. Making 9,000, that feels good. And let's see, anything else? You guys are looking good. Yep, that's looking good. The fact that I've now lost Sicily, and yet my Emperor's influence remains at 7, and Prince Nicephorus's loyalty remains at 3, it makes me think that things might be okay on that front. He might be okay to remain. Jesus, he's up to 7 valor now, man. I need to get his unit retrained. It'd be nice to have another potential, you know, despite the fact that he's a good runner, you know. It's just still, I mean, a unit of cataphracts, 4-star general, it's still useful. It is. It really is. So it would be nice to be able to retrain those units at some point. I still have not trained my first Varangian Guard yet. I still, of course, have my unit of Varangian Guards from the beginning of this campaign, but I've not trained a unit yet because I've been retraining Byzantine infantry in the meanwhile. But yeah, as soon as they're done, let's go Varangians. And yeah, I'm just now getting started on my town watch here in Greece, and that's going to allow me to build up to the Spearmakers Guild, I believe, and the Royal Palace, and then I'll be good to go with getting Varangians going there. Let's see, you can not chase. I want to make sure that I don't have my assassins chasing agents out of the province. They can just kill whoever comes to my province, and that's all I need them to do. It is really tempting to go after this Hungarian princess because they're not going to let me marry them, so why would I let them live? That sounded really bad. Didn't really think about that one before I just said it. Moving on. Let's see, let's get this Merchants Guild here in Bulgaria. For sure. And just a note, because in case y'all very experienced players are asking about, you know, if you want to know about my defensive upgrades, I think this is a really cool thing in Medieval. I really like that this is put in here, that where you have these defensive upgrades that you can add to your castles or whatever tier that you're on. And there's 2 of them, and they're relatively cheap, and they take a relatively short amount of time to complete. And on my frontier provinces, I always like building them up, even though, you know, the smarter thing, the meta way of playing this game probably is just to skip them and tech up to the tier that you want to be at to be able to get the units that you want to get, or, you know, in Bulgaria's case, also working on the Merchants Guild instead of wasting time on defensive upgrades. But they're just, what's the point in playing the game, you know? Like, there's a certain part where I have to put my foot down and say, no, let's have fun here. Let's do the thing that's fun and not just the thing that's the meta thing. So that's it. That's my stand. But I had things that I put my foot down with Shogun that I eventually did come around on. And, you know, if things were losing me the game, I'm just like, okay, no, this is stupid. I shouldn't be doing this. If I play a campaign at some time in the future and I'm like, man, I don't have enough time to build my stuff to get ready, you know, I need to get ready for something. You know, if I'm playing the high campaign and I have to get ready for the Mongols, like, sure, yeah, I'm not going to be an idiot about it, but in situations where I'm just like, you know what, it's an early campaign, like, I feel like I have all the time in the world, just why not just build a fun thing? So far, it has not bit me in the ass. Maybe it will someday. I now have a interesting decision to make here. Now, my Emperor Michael VIII, he's a magnificent builder, and that's going to be giving +2 loyalty to all generals, and you know what that means. That means that Prince Nicephoros is actually just on the cusp of looking like he's going to be okay again. You know, he might actually be useful. That 4 command, it should not be wasted. And yeah, the 4 loyalty is that's heading in the right direction, isn't it? Now, I don't know, I can't think, does that go away when the Emperor dies? Do all of these generals lose their loyalty boost from the Emperor? I think they do. I think they do. So that's a little bit worrisome. That'd bring him back down to a 2 loyalty. That's not great. But I do have an idea. So I just finished building the chancellery, and this gives this title, which is the Chancellor of the Palace, and this document grants unto the holder the privileges, rights, and duties of this office to be held for the furtherance of the ruler's pleasure and the better governance of his realm. As a direct consequence of this title, the office holder shall receive +3 loyalty, +1 acumen, and then +1 command. Now, yeah, y'all are thinking the same thing I am when it comes to that loyalty. That could be very useful on Prince Nicephorus. The only problem with him, I mean, the acumen's already kind of low, and the good runner is, that's a dark mark on his record, you know? Like, sure, it is mostly being erased by the captivating nature, but that's still giving his army -1 morale. Now, again, that is counteracted by the command stars, and that would further be counteracted by the extra command star given by this, which is tempting, but I do think that I found a better recipient of this. Now, Romanesque Comnenus is no longer part of my family. Oh, actually, yeah, Prince Nicephorus can't even be given titles. That's right. Yeah, I keep forgetting you can't give them to family members. That's so weird. Anyway, Romanesque Comnenus is no longer part of the family, or, you know, he's no longer part of the succession line, so he can be given titles. He's not as good of a general as Prince Nicephorus. He's only 3 stars, although he doesn't have a good runner trait. In fact, he's a natural leader, which is good. Weak principles, which is a little bit nerve-wracking. That's going to make him easier to bribe. I have to say, I've never seen an army of mine bribed before. So let me know. I mean, tell me your experiences. Like, has it happened to you? Because I've never seen it in Shogun or Medieval. So, yeah, I don't know if that's a real thing I have to worry about. But, so, yes, it's something to keep in mind, right? With that being said, though, his acumen's pretty solid, right? You know, 5 acumen, so it'd be boosted up to 6 acumen with that title, and he'd be a 4-star general as well. Now, the loyalty boost would be rather wasted on him. Clearly, he's okay, right? But he's also not a governor of anywhere, so why would I be doing this? Well, I was looking around, and a few of my provinces also already have fantastic governors from a money-making aspect, right? Lord Maniacas, the governor of Antioch, just, you know, 9 acumen, perfect, right? Constantinople, this peasant unit, extremely gifted, 8 acumen, fantastic. I made him the chamberlain of the palace because he's already gifted with a fast talker and materialist. And then I go down the line. My next biggest moneymaker, Egypt, Lord Comnenus. Where are you? Pretty good, right? That's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7. So more than 6. So I'm trying to find somewhere where that can help out, right? Who could use Romanesque Comnenus? That's your name, right? Yeah. Who could use you as a governor? And after Egypt, I think I checked out Tripoli as well. Tripoli. Lord Orphanotrophus. 6 acumen. So that would just be a wash, right? There's no point in doing that from a governor perspective. Going down the line, let's see. After that, I think Greece and Naples are pretty close in how much money they make. And Lord Ducas, so this is the guy for Greece. He only has 4 acumen, so that could definitely use an upgrade. That could use an upgrade. But then I saw the governor of Naples, Lord Dalasena. And he's down to 3 acumen. And that's because he picked up this trait. They found out that his ancestors were a little bit too close, and he's inbred. In fact, this is going to get worse once this turns into inbred, and it's going to be -2 acumen and -2 command. And I think it even goes from there. I think it turns into like too many toes or something, which is -3 acumen and -3 command. So unfortunately, my King of Naples is going to be down to just having 1 acumen at some point. So, and this is a decent money-making province. It's making almost, 1150, yeah. And so it would definitely could use an upgrade here. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking make Romanus Comnenus. I mean, -3 dread. How's this dread? 2 dread's fine. Naples is going to be fine because there's so many soldiers here when it comes to the loyalty. So let's do it. Let's make him my chancellor, or the chancellor of the palace. And now let's make him the King of Naples. That's you, right? Yeah, it's you. And now I need to find an emissary. Where's my closest emissary? Ah, perfect. I have an emissary right here in Tuscany. You can come right on down and you can strip this general of his title and we can give it to Romanus Comnenus. And that could make a bit more money for Naples. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good in the long run, I think. And that's going to be it for Lord Della Sena. He is now Nicephorus Della Sena. He had to give up his title, and I will now be granting that to Romanus Comnenus. I am continuing to catch assassins from the papacy here in Naples. Yeah, as long as they keep wasting their assassins and spies, I'll keep taking those resources. Just wasted resources. So I do have a Merchants Guild finished here in Nicaea, so more money for me. And that allows me to start, going back to work on the Pronoi Legion here in Nicaea as well. Castle's finished here in Naples, so now I can get that 3rd tier merchant building. And this is it. Yeah, the Merchants Guild. More of these. Okay, so now I have a son who's finally been born, and this is actually what I was just about to talk about because it's getting to that point where it gets getting nerve-wracking. The Emperor, I think, is like 42, I think. I can actually just check that in a moment. Let's see, is there anything? Oh, right. Right as he lost his governorship, he got his title as got his trait as a builder for Nicephorus Della Sena. Lord Orphanotrophus is now just getting better as a governor as well. Yeah, he's picked up hard sums for +1 acumen. I can't remember who he's a governor of, but it's one of those top ones, like Tripoli, was it? And yeah, that's always good to see. Nice. Yes, more money. In fact, let's check on that. Making 86. Okay, I wonder. Seems a little bit lower, but I'm training soldiers, so that's, yeah, whatever. How much are these guys costing? Yeah, the support cost rate for ranking guards is 75. Okay, holy shit. Yeah, all right. Well, that's gonna go up. Obviously, that's gonna. Yeah, I need to keep up with that, so that should be fine. Speaking of which, yeah, King of Naples, man, just a lot of loyalty, isn't it? It's too bad I shouldn't be giving this to someone else, but no. So what's it gonna go by? 889. It was like 11 before, 11 something maybe. So what are we at now? 14. Yeah, that's a nice little boost there. So we're past. Now we're making over 9,000. So that feels pretty good. And how old is the Emperor now? How old is he? He's 43. Okay, so in 16 years, his son's going to he's going to be of age. So it's 53 is 59. That he could live to be 59. Totally, yeah. I think, I'm not sure about this, but I think that they're guaranteed to live until 57, at least when it comes to, dying of old age. They won't die of old age or natural causes before they become 57, I think. I think that's true. And then after that, there's a chance of them dying of old age, and that chance gets higher and higher every single year. I think that's how that works. So 59, that's getting up there. But my understanding is that even then, with his son, you know, if his son is still not of age by the time the emperor dies, his brother will take over for a little while until he, of course, dies of natural causes. And then it will still go back to being this emperor's son, who would be the next in line. That is my understanding of it. Prince Alexius, okay. That is my understanding of that. But yes, okay, that I'm glad. that was making me a little bit nervous there with how long it was taking that emperor to make a son. So yeah, that feels pretty good. And overall, things do feel pretty good. You know, these crusades are dying out slowly but surely on my frontier. The Germans are massing soldiers, and it kind of looks like they want to attack me along with their crusade. Their crusade still does have 1,400 men left in it, so it could make a push, but I don't know. My armies are kind of decent, but they might feel like they could take Serbia. The French crusade, though, they have less than 500 men, so this shouldn't be lasting too much longer, but they really do kind of just linger for a while, which is unfortunate. But also, I have been seeking French boats. I've been kind of pushing forward with my lead fleet of just these 5 boats. They now have a 3-star admiral because he's been sinking French boats. I can sink this one as well. But I will have to retreat here because I can't fight this one by myself. Or no, I can just actually bring up... Your 2-star... Yeah, I can just bring up... And just 3v1 him, maybe? Hopefully that works out. But yeah, that's been going okay, actually. I've been actually kind of been able to sink a lot of the French boats so far, and that's felt good. I feel like, this is going to go up by quite a bit once I can start trading with these other ports. And, yeah, Poland too. Like, if Poland wants to get a port going in Prussia, that'd be fantastic. If Novgorod wants to get a port going in Lithuania, that'd be fantastic. Speaking of Novgorod, like, they're looking pretty good, aren't they? For some reason, I don't know why, but I feel like I don't see this very often. I feel like I don't see the Novgorods like pushing out and taking the step, which seems like their natural place of expansion. And I don't know why. And maybe this is why. Maybe it's because the Poles usually beat them to it, but because I'm here and I'm heavily, defending Bulgaria, I think the Poles feel like they have to defend Moldavia, and that's why a lot of their forces are here. I mean, look at everything else: Volhynia, Poland, Prussia. For some reason, they're not worried about the Novgorods, but they're worried about me, which is suspicious. I mean, okay, I guess you could say that Moldavia is bordering Kiev as well as Bulgaria. So there's that. Yeah, there's that. But I am starting to get a clearer picture of what's going on in Central and Western Europe, and the answer is not much. The Germans seem to be doing just fine because they're not at war with anyone but me, and same with the French. And same with everyone else. Like, no one's at war with anyone except me. And it's not fair. It's like the Almohads and the Spanish and yeah, the Central Powers, the Italians are just kind of chilling. The Italians are in a rough spot. Yeah, they just have Genoa and then the islands, Corsica and Sardinia. So yeah, they are in a tough spot. Hungary is in a tough spot. I get it. So yeah, I get it. Like, the only factions really powerful enough to fight are the Germans and the French and the Spanish and the Almohads. Like, where else are they going to go? They have to fight each other at some point. They just ran out of resources. They can't, like, build anymore. Yeah, this is just wild, man. Okay, anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. A very long, slow one. Not much happened. Hey, I got a good battle in versus Sicilian, so there was that. In any case, I feel pretty happy with it because I feel good about the progress that I am making. My points will be counted in 10 turns, and I should be, that should be a good little grab for me as well in regards to the points. But in any case, that's going to be it for this episode. So thank you very much for watching. This has been Concept playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.